What is up, Eartheans and Spaceans? I am just a simple new type, and in this episode, we are diving back into the Ad Stella universe as we cover Witch from Mercury, Vanadis Heart. This takes place in Ad Stella 106, 5 years after the Vanadis incident. We follow a young boy named Kiyu and Dr. Vilda as they roam the Earth. We see how the banning of Gundam tech has affected the people of Earth. So let's get into this. A permanent link has been reestablished. The pilot tries to go to layer 33, but they continue getting an error. Hopefully this explains the difference between layers and permit score because the anime didn't. Like many universes we cover, this one is no different. Man pushed themselves to evolve until one day humanity finally went into space. But in order to endure the harsh conditions of space, humanity began developing body augmentation using a newly acquired element called permit. Ad Stella 101. We see the events of the prologue play out. Delling raids the Vanadis Institute while holding a conference declaring the abolishment of all gun format tech. The Dominicus Corps launches to intercept any Ox-Earth mobile suits. They begin their raid on the front, Folkvanger. Unlike the anime, we are shown Nadim's perspective instead of Eddie's. He launches an Lfrith Unit 1, the XGF-01 Gundam Lfrith pre-production model, referred to as LF-00 during the incident, is a gun format tech mobile suit developed by Ox-Earth. This technology slowly kills its pilot when permit is used to control something so large and why Cathedra is established. Weapons include beam Vulcans, a beam rifle, and the Shalonian, which are its gun bits. It also has the shell unit to control the bits. Nadim goes to permit score 2. He attacks some Hydras. The CCP-068 Hydra is used by the Dominicus Corps and developed by Grassley Defense Systems. Weapons include a giant shield, 4 rapid beam guns, a beam rifle, and a beam saber. They can't keep up with the Gundam. It goes to permit score 3. Delling Rembrandt continues his speech claiming that gun format is not a tool, but rather a curse. Nadim goes up against the Bagheer bow, piloted by Kanaji Avery. The CEK-040 Bagheer bow is developed by Grassley Defense Systems and is a high-performance mobile suit used by Kanaji Avery of Dominicus. Weapons include a bayonet on its arms, a foot unit, which is a blunt fighting instrument, a non-kinetic pod, which are wired gun bits, which is the beginning of what will become the antidote. Meanwhile, Cardo Nebo is shot while Eddie takes the Gundam to layer 33. Elnora and Eddie launch in the Gundam Lfrith. The XGF-02 Gundam Lfrith is developed by Ox-Earth and utilizes gun format tech. Weapons include beam Vulcans, the gun bit shield, the bit staves, a receiver gun, a beam blade, a gun bit rifle, and a beam saber. Someone notes that this is unregistered permit, so Lfrith Unit 2 was built in secret. Nadim in Lfrith Unit 1 goes up in flames to the Happy Birthday song, and Unit 2 goes into hiding. 5 years later, AS-106, Earth. Kiyu Lavat or Laveau is making breakfast. He wakes up Dr. Vilda Marin, but she wants to sleep for 5 more minutes. She comes out to eat, but instantly says, "Quick, take off your clothes for science," and thus begins the journey to nurture a boy's heart. Nope. Shut it down. Shortest episode thus far. But seriously, am I about to dive into a grooming story? After the Vanadis incident, Gundam and gun format technologies were banned and the term witch was given to those who once donned the gun. Kiyu is sketching on a giant truck when the doctor calls him down. He wants to grow strong, so one day he and Dr. Vilda can go to space. The two take the long way during their journey to avoid recent terrorist attacks. They head to a station to refuel and get snacks. Also, their truck is Haro controlled. Batteries for large trucks like theirs are standardized, which makes for easy maintenance. They head to the market where products are scarce due to the terrorist attacks. Kiyu buys 12 cups of coffee for Vilda because the doctor said that she liked the energy caffeine gives her. She seems to take things very literally, or is on the spectrum of the sorts. Vilda tells him that she likes caffeine because of the energy it gives her, not so much for its taste. Also, it's inefficient to buy coffee like this. He says, "Okay, I'll drink it." He doesn't seem to learn the lesson. Men refueling their truck must do an inspection due to recent terrorist activities. Dr. Vilda is using a cover pretending to ship goods for a random corporation. She thinks about what she could do to slow down the inspection process. She knows that transportation falls under control of the Repele company. Perhaps hacking and falsifying documents from them is the way to go. While she is thinking, Kiyu jumps into action and gets into the mobile suit in their trailer. This is the Lfrith Jiu, the XGF-01 II3 Gundam Lfrith Jiu was created at Vanadis Institute and was a part of a research project called Human Expansion. This is a non-combative unit without a single weapon. Compared to the Gundams we've seen in Witch from Mercury, this pales in comparison, but it is still a Gundam and a worthy opponent to the people of Earth. Even though we said it has no weapons, it does include the Tiger Arm, which is retrofitted gun format tech. It's just a giant arm used for mobile worker purposes, but you could probably punch someone really hard with it still. It also contains bladed weapons and a firing weapon due to its shell unit, just for medical purposes. Maybe Delling was right. He tells Vilda to jump in the trailer so they can make a break for it. This isn't how she wanted to handle this, but I guess this is how they are handling this now. A security mobile suit squad chases them down. She reminds Kyu that their batteries didn't finish charging and they can't kill anyone. The doctor says they are not carrying that around just to fight. The doctor thinks back to the Vanadis incident. Kyu goes to grab a battery, but Vilda doesn't think they will be successful. She goes on a long internal monologue on the childhood spirit and how it is a double-edged sword. The guards are authorized to use beam weapons, so Kyu uses the Tiger Arm. He destroys the depot and the bridge the trailer was on. He grabs the truck and pushes it to safety as they quickly leave the city. The doctor looks back at how much chaos Kyu created, but the kid is just like, "Did I do good, doctor?" "You did well, kid." They aren't being tailed, but Kyu stays on guard in the Lfrith Jiu. Vilda drinks all the coffee. Their journey to nurturing a young boy's heart is hard. A squad searches for the terrorists. The Lfrith Jiu jumps out with a sweet shark kick and takes out the mobile suits. The doctor reminds him that they should avoid combat as much as possible. He doesn't seem to understand it. She is trying to be encouraging while hiding the truth about the negative effects of permit. The guards approach the doctor on foot and she takes them out with a stun gun. They drag their bodies into the shade and the two continue moving on. Vilda bought Kyu another stuffed animal for his collection. He says that he needs to play with dolls to show that he can project a personality onto them. She is very clinical, but it is all to help with consciousness synchronization. Unlike most cybernetics, permit requires the mind and the machine to be one. It all goes over Kyu's head, and he rather play with the giant robot. AS-96. 10 years earlier, Vilda is a genius child that is already enrolled in college. However, she butts heads with many of her teachers as she is just trying to accomplish her goal of helping her brother. That is when she met Cardo Nebo. She tells her of her brother's microfistula syndrome that she believes can be solved with gun format tech. She wants to work with Cardo Nebo and join the Vanadis Institute. 3 years later, her brother unfortunately died. Cardo Nebo visits her, not because of her brother, but because she knows that she too has microfistula syndrome and she could continue the research. However, she never made it there as an explosion goes off. Vilda wakes from this nightmare. They are heading for another job. She says it is business as usual, but Kyu finds all things fun so long as he is with the doctor. Kyu heads out to take photos, but Dr. Vilda tells him that he could only travel 800 meters from the trailer and no further. He takes pics around the city before running into Vilda. They are setting up shop to help some of the citizens. A few are skeptical as they think they are Spaceans. She gives the people of the town medical care while Kyu runs around being annoying in the background. She provides them with affordable medications as well. Even though she is helping these people as much as possible, she sees all of this as nothing more than a mere band-aid. She knows the solution to people in these impoverished areas on Earth. It is gun format tech, but she can't solve the problem for these poor people. She could only give them a band-aid. Some kids ask Kyu if they could help them fix their doll. It is a giant Burning Man type doll that is as big as a mobile suit. Meanwhile, the doctor is being harassed by some of the people of the city. They want her to leave the city as this doesn't really help the people in the long term. Temporary solutions tend to make things worse in the long run. That is when Kyu activates the Gundam and helps build the kid's giant doll. Some of the town folks wonder if that is her Gundam. The doctor reaches for her gun thinking that they are going to go on a witch hunt, but they want to show her something. There's a man in town with gun format tech and he needs help. There are people out there that went all in on gun format. When it was banned, it allowed doctors an excuse to not help those with gun format tech. No one will help them for fear of using gun format. They show her their president, whose bottom half is entirely gunned format. He needs help, but he doesn't need help from her. The townsfolk just wanted to show her that he can't get any help because of people like her who use gun format tech to build Gundams instead of medical technologies. Terrorists are moving through the plains when a mobile suit pops out and begins tearing through their mobile suits. And look, they have Tachikoma mechs. Gunbits begin taking out terrorists left and right. The mobile suit throws some blades called the Narukami concealed within the Gringe and delivers a shock to the terrorists using its electricity emitter. This is Lfrith Jiu. The AVP-03 Gundam Lfrith Jiu is a Vanadis Institute gun format tech mobile suit designed for close combat. It has a hover unit on its feet which keeps it light. The unit also has mist ducts which allow the area to increase static electricity so one can use the electricity emitters. This is a lightning attack that comes out of the palms of the mobile suit hands. These emitters, with the help of the Gringe, can allow the pilot to use the Narukami, which are electricity blades. Other weapons include a shell unit for bits, beam Vulcans, and a beam gun. The pilot of the mobile suit is a young girl named Yoshika. She looks exactly like Kiyu and is looking for him. And that will do it for this episode. I like that we get to see some of the fallout of the Vanadis incident and the use of gun format tech. Much of the benefits of gun format doesn't truly affect people. It is only when you put gun format into a giant robot that it starts to affect the pilot. No wonder so many people blame Gundam pilots, as they are the reason for gun format being banned. I also like that Kiyu desperately wants to use the Gundam to help as much as possible, but the doctor clearly hasn't told him that gun format tech will kill him. She simply teaches him to not engage in combat. We could be reading a story where we slowly watch a witch die. It usually doesn't end well. Next time, we will see the city have their own Burning Man, and Yoshika will meet Kiyu. But that will do it for now, new types. Remember, nurturing a boy's heart is beautiful when it comes to art, but don't do it in real life. Just don't do it. Peace.